Hi everyone, welcome back to Nick's Diecast. In today's video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the 2024 Hess truck. My parents got me this for Christmas, and I think the price for the 2024 Hess truck was around $46 or so. And as you can see, this is the 60th anniversary year of the Hess truck, based off what you see here on the top left-hand corner of the box. And this is a fire truck with a car and a motorcycle. What's interesting is that Hess last did a fire truck in 2015. And they usually, at least in recent years, haven't been doing two vehicles with their trucks. Most times, at least as far as more recent Hess vehicles of the last couple of decades have gone, they will usually have just one smaller vehicle to go with the larger vehicle. But occasionally you will have Hess trucks like this 2024 Hess fire truck that come with two vehicles. So that's really cool to see that. So Hess revealed this as the 2024 Hess truck back in October of 2024. That's sort of, I guess, the system that Hess has for unveiling whatever the truck of that particular year is. So the 2025 Hess truck will be unveiled in October of 2025, and so on and so forth. But I'm excited to have this truck because, one, I always like getting the Hess fire trucks, and two, because this is the 60th anniversary truck. As you can see, it's in the standard Hess box that they've been doing for the past several years, where the box is all green. And then, of course, you have a picture on the side of the primary vehicle along with the two smaller secondary vehicles that you get with it. Then on the side flaps, you have images of the rear portion of the truck. And then on this side, the front portion of the truck, which is very cool. So when you have these boxes stored, you can always see which Hess truck is inside of them, even if they're stacked up, because you have a picture of the truck, either the front end or the back end on the sides like that. Same picture on this side as you have on this side. Then on top you have the Hess fire truck with car and motorcycle, and then all the different features that you have too. Lots of different working features on this one, which I do like to say. It looks like actually this is the same picture, only it's reversed. So, interesting. Then on the bottom, has a few different images of the different working features that each of the vehicles has. And this does, of course, come with lights and sound, which is very cool. You have various ramps and access to the inside of the truck to, of course, get the vehicles in and out. And then this does, of course, have the fire chief car and the motorcycle. So let's go ahead and get this opened up and see what we have in terms of the truck and all the different, and the two vehicles that it comes with. We'll get it out from this side. All right, there's the front. Right there, it looks like the bottom is cardboard and the top kind of a clear piece of plastic. That's kind of standard, at least recently, for how these trucks are packed. Are a bit hard to pull out. There we go. There's our Hess fire truck. This is kind of reminiscent of the 2005 Hess fire truck, which had a somewhat similar boxy look to it, but this one, of course, is different in terms of how, like, the different lights are shaped, how the ladder looks, and everything. But the overall basic look, I guess, is similar to the 2005 Hess fire truck. But this, of course, is different from that. Because for one, the 2005 Hess fire truck only came with one vehicle instead of two. And that vehicle was like an off-road, like SUV of some sorts. So as you can see, here's the truck. Let's pop off this piece of plastic. Like that. You can already see, look, you have these rotating lights. Oh, they even move up and down, too. Look at that. All the different buttons to control the sound functions. This ladder, which I assume will actually be quite tall. And this, you just pop off like that. And there we go. Now, the batteries are already equipped, but they still give you this little instruction sheet on how to access the battery cases in each of the vehicles, or how to turn the vehicles on and off. Yeah, they are pre-installed, it looks like. But, of course, this will still show you how to replace the batteries if you need that. And then here's how you have the primary vehicle. Interesting to see that. But let's get to the truck here. Wow. This looks really cool. Love all the different chrome work on there already. You have the molded in H and then the 60 symbol on the front grille there. And then, of course, the Hess logo underneath that. different detail on the sides here, like all the rolled up hoses, and some additional details here as well. They even have the 60 kind of inscribed in the chrome on that door there. You even have Hess kind of etched into the window on here. That's really cool. I thought it would just be a clear window, but they actually included that additional detail on there too. All different Hess signs, makes it obvious that this is a Hess truck. You even have Hess branded on the tires too. Pretty typical for these trucks. And then back here you have Hess 2024 on the bumper. I guess it sort of functions as the license plate too, I guess. And then you even have Hess on the ladder too, or etched into the ladder, I should say. Separately cast plastic side mirrors. And then of course all the different lights are on here too. And you saw already there was many different moving parts on this truck, which I always like to see for these vehicles. We'll go ahead and see how each of these light and sound functions work. So you just pull that plastic tab out, and then you're in business in terms of all the different sounds. Before we get to the sounds and lights of everything, let's get out the other vehicles first. Here's the motorcycle. Looks like he's all wrapped up in this plastic, which I will keep. And this is friction powered, it looks like. Interesting. This also has a pull tab, pull to operate. Put him over there. You can see here's a couple of side doors on here. Now we'll get out the fire chief's car in the back here. Interesting. This appears, oh, there we go. And then it looks like, I forgot all the ramps make that sound when you lower them on these Hess trucks. That's really cool. This is bigger than I thought it would be. This fire chief's car. Wow. But then, yeah, this is actually a pretty long ramp too. What's interesting is that the ramp is red instead of either white or green like you see on a lot of the Hess vehicles that have these ramps on them. So you just close it up like that. This is a pullback, as you can see, too. Really cool. We'll take a closer look at the smaller vehicles first. I already have this Fire Chief's car in my hand. Definitely reminiscent of a 2005 or 2009 Ford Mustang. Of course, they wouldn't really be going for that because of licensing costs and everything, but the overall body shape and everything sort of looks like the 05 to 09 Mustang. Pretty cool, though, nonetheless. See, it has the Hess symbol on the side there and some different stripes. Even have a rear spoiler that has Hess printed on it, which is really cool. And then you have Hess on the hood here with the stripes. I forgot to pull out that tab too. This one does have lights on it as well. Now the LED lights on these Hess trucks I think always look really cool. Nice and bright. Nice bright clear blue and red lighting going on there. Even on the back here. Oh, it's this Fire Chief on the racing stripes. That's a cool touch. Chrome side mirrors. Have fire kind of etched into the windshield, and then you have all the different little Hess logos on this car as well. And of course, it is a pullback. Awesome stuff. Then for the motorcycle, I already sort of showed that, but here's another closer look at that. Nice rubber tires on it. It does stand up on its own like that. Sort of like built-in kickstands going on, I guess you can say. See, the driver has this kind of chrome backpack going on, Hess 2024, and then Hess on there. Now, there we go. Oh, that's a bright light. That's actually one of the brightest lights I've seen on a little Hess motorcycle. Super cool. You got the headlight and then the indicator lights, and then you have the tail light on the back here. That is awesome. Now for the bigger truck, once again, I already kind of showed that in terms of its overall looks and details, but this does, of course, have the ladder. We'll see how, I guess, high up that goes. Wow. We'll raise up the camera just a bit. It's actually a pretty tall ladder. As you can see right here, it does lower down. But I really like how this ladder looks in terms of height and everything. It does, of course, spin around all the way. And you can, of course, raise and lower it too. And careful not to hit the buttons with it, because I did actually hit the horn button by accident when I was lowering it down the first time. This does have these searchlights built in on the sides that rotate and also move up and down, like so. All right, we'll take a look next at the different light functions on this. We'll do light functions first and then sound functions, and then I'll, I guess, share my overall impressions of this Hess truck. So this one, you just have the basic three-way switch. You have off, then on. That looks really cool. Look at how bright that looks, even when I have the overhead lights on and also this lamp on my desk. Nice bright lighting. And again, the LED lights really, I think, make these trucks look awesome. In the past, Hess did not use this type of lighting, but in recent years they have. I want to say the last like maybe 9 or 10 years or so. That's really cool to see. And this does, of course, light up the inside compartments, so we'll see how the smaller vehicles look when placed back in there, like that. This is kind of tricky to open up and close, this rear door. Almost seems like you're gonna break it, so that's one thing I don't really like about this all that much, but I probably won't be opening or closing it up too much. And this is kind of stiff to get back in there a little bit, but not really a big deal. But we'll see how this looks with the vehicles inside and the lights turned on. Wow, that is awesome looking for sure. In addition to this, you also have the flashers function. So you can, of course, see all the LED lights flashing away on there. Looks really cool that way too. Now we'll see how the Hess truck lights look with all of the lights in the room turned off. So we'll get this lamp turned off and the main lights turned off. There we go. Wow, that is bright. It's actually lighting up this entire room right now with how bright these lights are. But that is cool to see that for sure. And we'll get all these out too. See how they all look in the dark. Yeah, again, that motorcycle light's really bright, which I love to see, for sure. All right, and here's all three vehicles with their different light functions. I'll put these back in, I guess, regular mode instead of flasher mode. There we go. Well, I would say as far as the lights go on all three vehicles, they look really good, especially in the dark like this. Again, the LEDs, I think, are a vast improvement over the lights that Hess used to use on their vehicles. But we'll get these main lights turned back on. And even when you have lights on, even like one like this kind of directly above them, the lights still show quite well. And that's really cool to see that. So I think in terms of the light functions on all three of the models, as well as just the overall, I guess, quality and details, they are pretty good. There's kind of that weird situation with this back door where it makes that kind of bad sounding click when you try to open and close at a certain angle. But aside from that, I don't really have too much to say in terms of any negatives on these models here. So that's really cool. Now we'll go ahead and see what the different sound functions are for the fire truck. All right, now we'll take a look at the various sound functions that this Hess fire truck has. Now, like the other Hess vehicles that have come out over the years with sound functions, you don't have to have the lights turned on with the switch in order to use all the sound functions. As long as the batteries are inside the truck, you can just operate the sounds with these buttons that you see installed up here on the roof. So you kind of want to tilt the ladder out of the way just a little bit. You can just tilt up the ladder like that. And then you have 4 different sound functions. We'll see what each of these sounds does. All right, well, that was the horn, as you obviously heard. That was a nice sounding horn, too. Let's see what this one is. Probably a siren of some sorts. Oh, interesting. It kind of has that fade at the end there, too. That was pretty cool. Wasn't the typical sounding siren either that you hear on a lot of fire trucks, at least here in the US, so I liked that one. We'll see what this one does. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking I was going to be hearing. Wow. And there's like, I know different terms for how different sirens sound. I don't know what the technical terms for those two different siren sounds were. If anyone wants to comment that down in the comments section, they certainly can. But wow, as you heard, I guess we'll say, they all sounded good. And of course, if you wanted to hear them again, you can just push the button. So it looks like they play in kind of a short loop like that. I'm going to guess for this last button here, it's just for the flashing lights. Oh, it's not. Interesting. That's really interesting. Usually for these Hess vehicles with sounds, the fourth or sometimes fifth button is just for the flashing lights, where you don't have to turn on the switch. You can just press the button and then have it just go for a few seconds. But that's interesting. So that was like the truck starting up and everything. That's really cool. I would say in terms of the sounds, they all sounded great, and would actually be sounds, of course, that you would hear, I suppose, with a real-life fire truck. So those I thought were really cool touches with this truck, and I'm glad that Hess included them. And I guess we'll get one more, good view of the ladder, fully extended like that. I sort of did show it at my desk, but just spin all the way around like that, too. That's really cool. I think in terms of play value, this Hess fire truck really has quite a bit. And especially when you consider the fact that you get two vehicles, and then the fact that all three vehicles have light functions, and the fact that the main truck, of course, has all those different sound functions is just really nice to see. I think as far as the $46 price tag goes for this Hess truck, it's okay. I hope that Hess doesn't raise the price of their truck above $50. But this does, of course, once again come with two smaller vehicles as opposed to just one smaller vehicle. And it is a special anniversary truck. So I think the slightly higher price compared to last year is definitely justified in that sense. But yeah, the only problems I guess I see with this Hess truck are the fact that with this rear door, and this happens a lot of times with these Hess trucks that have the rear door like that, that click sounds like you're braking the thing when you're actually not. So, but you're not actually braking it. It's just a weird kind of quirk, I guess. And the fact that you do have to kind of move the ladder up to get to the buttons, but that really isn't, I guess, even a problem. It's just the odd thing that I noticed. And I don't even know if that would be considered odd. I really can't find that many problems with this Hess truck casting and the two other vehicles, aside from those couple of minor things, I guess. So I would say absolutely, if you're a collector or a fan of Hess vehicles, this definitely is one to get, because Hess doesn't really put out too many fire trucks compared to all the many other vehicles that they've put out in the past several decades. And this, of course, once again, is a unique Hess vehicle because it does commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Hess toy truck. Great model and a great Hess truck for sure. And of course now the 2024 Hess truck, in terms of getting it directly from Hess, has been sold out. But if you can find one for a good price on sites such as eBay, I would say definitely go ahead and get it, especially if you're a fan of Hess trucks or fire trucks in general. And then of course all the different play functions on all three vehicles make this a great Hess truck as well. So yeah, I'm definitely happy that I have this added to my collection of Hess vehicles. And I would say definitely if you're a fan of Hess, once again, or of fire vehicles, this is definitely a great model to get. Feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on the 2024 Hess truck, or with your thoughts on the video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.